Hello. Today we're diving into something more terrifying than waiting in line at the DMV, new DMV rules and driving tech that are quietly changing how you use your car in California. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. Every single click genuinely helps this channel grow, so we can reach more people, raise more awareness. These changes could turn your daily commute into a bureaucratic nightmare. They're not minor tweaks. They affect your car, your data, and your ability to use the roads. So pay attention, because ignoring this could lead to some very unpleasant encounters with the law. We're going to look at three big shifts: the move to digital driver's licenses, environmental rules, and city zones tied to your plate's black box style tech that records everything you do behind the wheel. Let's get started. Across the U.S., many state DMVs are pushing toward digital driver's licenses and mobile IDs, marking a major shift in how you prove your right to drive. For decades, the plastic card in your wallet has been a symbol of independence, a tangible piece of identity you could hold, show, and trust. Now, the move to digital means your license is no longer something you possess. It's something you access, and only as long as the system allows. Imagine being pulled over by the police. Instead of reaching for a familiar card, you're now fumbling with your phone, searching for the right app, hoping your battery hasn't died or your signal hasn't dropped. The simple act of proving your identity becomes a digital dance, dependent on technology, working perfectly in a moment of stress. DMVs and federal agencies claim this will streamline processes, making everything faster and more efficient. But with every step toward digital convenience, we also step deeper into a world of constant digital surveillance. Every time you access your digital license, that action can be logged, tracked, and stored. The authorities can know not just if you're licensed, but when and where you proved it. Security is a major concern. Data breaches are no longer rare events. They're a regular feature of our digital lives. A digital license stored in the cloud or on your phone could be manipulated, duplicated, or even stolen by hackers. The risk of identity theft grows, and the consequences could be far more severe than simply losing a plastic card. For older drivers, this technological leap can be daunting. Many are not comfortable with smartphones or apps, and the idea of their license being something intangible, something that can be revoked or altered remotely, is unsettling. It turns a right into a service, one that can be switched off with a click. The physical card had a reassuring solidity. It was proof you could touch, a constant companion in your wallet. The digital version, by contrast, is just pixels on a screen, fleeting, intangible, and dependent on a device that can fail or be lost. This change centralizes control in a way we've never seen before. The road, once a symbol of freedom and independence, is now overseen by digital systems that monitor, record, and regulate. The journey becomes less about personal liberty and more about compliance with a network of invisible rules. For now, hold on to your plastic license card. In most states, it's still your best proof of driving rights. But start familiarizing yourself with your state DMV's online portal or mobile app. The transition is coming, and being prepared will make it less jarring when the physical card eventually becomes optional or disappears. This is the future, whether we're ready for it or not. The driver's license, once a solid piece of plastic, is becoming a ghost in the machine, visible only when the system says so. Across the U.S., environmental rules and city zones are expanding, and their enforcement is being tightly tied to your license plate and DMV records. Some big cities are moving toward congestion pricing and low-emission zones, where driving into certain areas means you pay a fee, especially in older, higher-polluting vehicles. States like California already use strict emissions testing and smog checks as a condition for renewing your registration. Fail the test, and you can't legally drive that car on public roads. If you own an older gasoline or diesel car, you're facing growing costs just to keep using it. Extra fees, new tests, and stricter rules can quickly add up, making it more expensive to simply go about your daily life, commuting to work, dropping the kids at school, or visiting family. The value of older cars is dropping in many markets, and for a lot of people, the cost of upgrading to a newer, compliant vehicle is completely out of reach. Your license plate is now the key. State DMVs and city agencies maintain massive databases that determine whether your car is compliant with these rules. But these systems aren't perfect. Drivers can be wrongly flagged as non-compliant, leading to unexpected fines, registration problems, and a lot of frustration. Trying to correct these errors can be a bureaucratic nightmare, with long waits, confusing processes, and agencies pointing fingers at each other. What started in a few major cities and strict states is slowly spreading. It's creating a two-tier driving system. Those who can afford newer, cleaner vehicles can drive more freely, while everyone else faces growing restrictions and extra costs. For many families, buying a brand new hybrid, electric, or ultra-low emission car just isn't realistic. If you're driving an older model, you're effectively being punished for not having the money to upgrade. This approach risks leaving behind the people already struggling with the cost of living, turning basic mobility into a privilege instead of a normal part of life. At the same time, the network of license plate readers and traffic cameras is growing at an unprecedented rate. These cameras scan plates, track vehicle movements, and automatically issue tolls or fines. What was once a simple act, driving your own car, now feels like navigating a minefield of rules, charges, and constant monitoring. Your car, once a symbol of freedom, is increasingly seen as a taxable, trackable asset. The newest model year cars with the latest emissions tech glide through these systems without issue, while older vehicles are singled out and penalized. It's a visible marker of who can afford to comply and who can't. Before you buy a car or even plan a simple trip into certain areas, you may now have to check state and city websites to see if your vehicle is compliant. One wrong move, and you could be hit with a hefty fine. It's another layer of stress and complexity added to everyday life, and it's changing how people think about car ownership. The freedom and spontaneity that once defined driving in America are slowly being eroded. With every new rule, every new camera, and every new charge, the simple act of getting behind the wheel becomes more complicated, more expensive, and less accessible for ordinary people. Around the world, a major shift is happening in the way cars are built, and the U.S. is being pulled into it. New vehicles are quietly gaining two controversial technologies: intelligent speed assistance, or ISA, and event data recorders, known as EDRs. Regulators and car makers promote them as safety features, but they raise serious questions about privacy, control, and who really owns your driving data. Intelligent speed assistance is designed to monitor speed limits and warn you or even intervene if you go too fast. These systems aren't perfect. They can misread road signs, get confused by temporary limits, or fail to recognize local changes. Imagine your car suddenly slowing down or cutting power because it thinks you're speeding even when you're not. That means your car could override your decisions, reducing your control over the vehicle at critical moments. For many drivers, this loss of autonomy is frustrating and potentially dangerous, especially in situations where quick judgment is needed. Then there's the event data recorder, the car's black box. Many modern vehicles already have them. They constantly record details like your speed, braking, steering, and whether you're wearing your seatbelt. This data is stored every time you drive, creating a detailed log of your behavior behind the wheel. In the event of an accident, this data can be accessed and analyzed. It might help clarify what happened, but it can also be used against you. Even in minor incidents where blame isn't clear-cut, insurance companies are eager to get their hands on this information. With access to your driving history, they can adjust your premiums, deny claims, or penalize you for mistakes you didn't realize you made. Your state DMV doesn't directly collect this black box data, but it does maintain the core information that ties everything together. Your name, your license, your plate, your VIN. Between your car's onboard systems, your insurer, law enforcement databases, and DMV records, a surveillance triangle forms between you, your vehicle, and the authorities. Newer model year cars are increasingly shipping with these technologies as standard. Whether you want them or not, it's getting harder to buy a new car without them. The era of truly dumb, unconnected cars is ending. Even a minor bump in a parking lot could turn into a data-driven investigation, with every detail of your driving analyzed. What used to be a simple insurance claim can now become a forensic review of your behavior behind the wheel. The risk is that this data can be taken out of context, misinterpreted, or used to build a case against you even when you're not at fault. Car makers and regulators highlight the potential to save lives and reduce crashes. But the trade-off is significant. Drivers are giving up privacy and control, with every journey tracked, logged, and potentially analyzed by third parties. Your car is no longer just a means of transport. It's a mobile data unit constantly collecting and transmitting information about you and your habits. In this new world, you're not just the driver. You're also the subject of constant digital surveillance, with your every move behind the wheel recorded and scored. Driving is changing. Digital licenses, instead of solid cards environmental rules, and city zones tied to your plates, and registration cars that monitor and record you every time you turn the key. Your DMV, along with other state and federal agencies, sits at the center of this, holding the keys to your driving freedom. Stay informed, or these changes will catch you by surprise. And when it comes to driving, ignorance is expensive. Subscribe to our channel for more updates on how DMV rules, car tech, and new regulations are reshaping life on the road. Until next time, drive safe and drive smart.